I've been sending home packages. Okay, that's enough. That's enough. That's enough. That's enough. I've been sending home yarn for almost a year now, and it's finally time to get things organized. Now that those are all off of me, I can share with you what's going on. So if this is your first video, you're probably like, why is there so much yarn in mailers? So let me explain. My husband and I and our dog Toaster have been on the road for the last 11 months, kind of on and off, traveling to as many of the states as we can to go to yarn stores, fiber mills, yarn dyers. We've been to farms. It's been absolutely incredible. And we're actually getting ready to go back on the road again to complete all 50 states. We have 24 more to go, and we're filming all along the way. It's been really, really fun. And while we have been going to all these yarn stores, I've been shopping for yarn, of course. I'm always on the lookout for something local, and I've been making this incredible blanket that is all hand-dyed yarn from different states, and I have a lot of leftovers. So we live in a van, and it's really small, and there's not a lot of storage space. And since we're only coming back to my parents' house here every few months, there's just nowhere to put the yarn that accumulates. Sometimes I don't get a ton for a stretch of a month, and then sometimes I will get like 20 skeins in a week, just depending on what's going on and other things that are coming in. So the way I've been dealing with that is packaging things up in mailers and sending them back here to my parents' house in Tennessee. While that's been a really lovely short-term solution, it has kind of been one of those out of sight, out of mind things where I didn't realize just how much has built up. I know we're not done with our journey yet. I was planning to kind of put this off for longer, but we actually have a few extra days here in Tennessee that we did not plan for and did not know we were going to have. So I'm taking advantage of it, and I'm going to start opening these things up. So here's the plan. I think for right now, I'm just going to open everything. Most of the things that are from the blanket are also in a Ziploc bag. Anything that's not, like if it was an extra project bag or something when I finished a project, it's kind of just loose in there. So I think the first thing I need to do is separate those things. Separate everything that's a blanket leftover from everything that's like leftover from a project or just other skeins of yarn that weren't for the blanket. This blanket yarn leftovers, I am planning to eventually in the future do another blanket with it. So I want to get that all sorted by state. I think the best thing is probably to, I have some right here, grab some more Ziplocs and label them by state so that I can put them all away. I do have everything organized on my Ravelry project page for the blanket that I'm working on, but it's not actually written on the labels. And even though the labels are staying on here now, like I've kind of wrapped the yarn around them, I don't want to chance them falling off and then me not knowing what yarn is in there. So I thought it would be fun to kind of just open them up and walk through things together. We can kind of uncover my secret stash. I feel like it's like a secret stash from myself. We can uncover it together. So if that sounds fun to you, then join me for the next who knows how many minutes until we get all the things opened and organized. I've cleared off the bed behind me, so I think we'll do like blue half can be things that are not blanket and pink brown half can be blanket things. That way I can just sit in this chair right here and just toss stuff onto the bed. This is all of the pink packages and other things that I could find for the moment. I do believe there might be more. I think the best thing to do is just start and open up the first package here. So I don't know if these have dates on them. Yes, this one says April 2nd. So this one's a pretty recent one. Let's see what I've got in here. This one is not a blanket one. Okay, so it looks like I have some cotton yarns from when I thought I was going to be working on a design, my float tote. So I've got the cups that go with it and all of this. So that is going to be going on that other side of the bed here. Oh, what else is in here? Oh, and then I just started throwing random things that we knew we didn't need in the van, but we might want in the future, like this that Kent got at a Seattle Kraken game as a gift. So that can be, sorted out because it's not actually yarn. Okay, I think everything, oh, you know what? The purpose of this is to get everything out of these pink bags so I actually know what I'm looking at. I have a lot of Ziploc bags I'll be able to reuse in these, but I am gonna have to crack into some fresh ones. So I should put all of this in here. Actually, don't I have a project bag for this somewhere? I think I had to separate it out because I have one of those awesome Black Pearl Magic project bags, but they are bulky, so I couldn't fit it in with the mailer size that I had. So this is not perfect. As you can see, literally just had to send an entire project home because it was taking up so much space and I wasn't working on it. And there's nowhere to just like put it in another room or put it in a place that's not in the way. It's either the space where I have my projects is really small or it goes on the floor. There is nowhere else. All right, we're gonna throw that over there. So we've got a float tote project, a hockey puck, and then this is, what was this pattern called? Oh, Traveler's Loop. I made a new one and therefore I did not need to. I don't have, again, it's all about space. I only had a little space over the passenger seat where I was keeping my gloves, hats, and scarves. So once I made a new one, it went there and this one came home. So let me go throw these things on the bed, one bag down. I don't know how many to go. I happened to just find the one from the same shipping date. Usually when I'm shipping stuff, it kind of looks like I hold on to things for a while and then I'll ship like 3 bags of stuff at once. For a while there, I was doing pretty good at shipping every time I had 6 leftovers because they fit perfectly into a gallon-sized bag, which then fits perfectly into this mailer. But that is not always the case. Sometimes we are running around so fast that there is no time to like stop, get out my mailing stuff. I save a lot of money on shipping by having my own printing like label system and my own bags. And I have a pirate ship account because I do ship out a lot of prizes. So that sets me up for it being a little bit more affordable, but it's still a lot and a process. Okay, so this is the bag. Sorry, Shayla, had to really just fold that up. I've had this one for quite a long time. I love these bags. So actually, I'm gonna toss that on the bed. I can take that Ziploc bag back, put the float tote project back where it belongs. Okay, I think we're getting into blanket yarn now. Yeah, this looks like some of what I got from Oregon, some knitted wit, some ritual dyes. So we've got definitely more of that coming. Let's just open up our next one. This one is from March of this year, so a little earlier on. Let's see what we had going on in March. Looks like some more project stuff. So a completed float tote, which I was no longer using for a project. I had used it for a project. I finished the project, so I sent that home because it was taking up quite a lot of space. Going on this next leg of the journey, I am getting better and better about bringing only what I need. And I'm also realizing how valuable it is to have the right project bag. So even though I really love having structured project bags, I love bucket bags, they're just not really practical for the space that I have. So it's better for me to have a fabric drawstring bag that can really squish down. I could squish another one on top of it. Whereas if I have something more structured, I'm limited more on space. Okay, this one's an easy one because it looks like all leftover blanket yarn. When I'm making my blanket, my hexie blanket, I have about 80 grams of yarn left over, which is a lot. So we will be getting to sorting these here later on. So let's see, in March, where was I? This looks like a little bit from Texas. Where else was I? A little bit from Arkansas, I think. So yeah, it's kind of fun to go back through and kind of get memories. Okay, second bag. No, third bag? No, second bag down. Okay, this is a big one. This one's also started busting open. There's also, it looks like a garment in here. This one is also from March. Luckily, my mom did put most of them away. She started putting them away in these tubs for me, but then that quickly got like too big. So let's see here. All right, we got some blanket yarn. Oh, this is definitely Oregon. I can tell from these colors. This one was from Ruby and Roses. It was her special show colorway for the Rose City Yarn Crawl. And then there's more knitted wit. There's all kinds of stuff from Oregon. And then I managed to stuff in here one of Clint's sweaters that he wasn't really wearing, and it was You would think this doesn't take up a lot of space, but it really was. So we can add that back in for Kent. Third bag down. All right, another one from March. This one's from a different date. So if you remember, in March of this year, we went to the Rose City Yarn Crawl in Portland, which was 8 yarn stores. And then we went the next weekend to the Bay Area Yarn Crawl, which was 21 yarn stores. We also went to the brand new yarn store that had just opened, so 22. So that means within the span of a week, we had gone to 30 yarn stores. So my stash had been, you know, reduced down, and then it just exploded in a matter of a week, and I had so much yarn to get through. Okay, these are also all blanket yarns. I'm seeing some from Arizona. Oh, and I also have a project bag. Actually, I'm gonna take that out because that I wanna put away with my holiday stuff. So this is so cute. It's from Coven Collective, and it's a little pouch, and they gifted this to me at the Rose City Yarn Crawl. So I wanna make sure that actually gets put away with the project bags. But all of this looks like Arizona, California yarn. So around that time that I was adding to my blanket. That's 4 bags. Oh my gosh, what happened to this one? I don't know if that happened in the mail or if like a pin spilled. This is gross. This is from even earlier in March. I'm gonna keep this basket on me while I open up this one because it looks very dirty. See, this is also the other thing. It's like kind of a risk to send my yarn home, but so far so good. Fingers crossed. Okay, now we got some projects going on. Actually, I think it's just one project and more blanket yarn. This is from New Orleans. We went to Yarny Gras this year. So fun to, I know you can't really see the yarns, but so fun to kind of go back through and have the memories, that fell, back through and have the memories of everything that we did. Okay. Hold on one second. Now I have a little trash pile in this bin. I've got 5 bags in there. So this was a project that I wanted to do so much and it just wasn't the right timing. I had too many things going on. It's a really lovely yarn. I wanted to do assigned pooling. We did an assigned pooling make along in February, I believe, with my membership. And so I got this beautiful yarn from Barker Wool. Is this one Barker Wool or Madeline Tosh? I know. Yeah, Barker Wool, and it's a single ply and it's silk. And I think I got this at DFW Fiber Fest. So like I was planned like well ahead to do this. And I even did a little like swatch. We did a class in the membership, and then I just never ended up making the actual project, which is fine. It wasn't the right timing. So that can go over in my projects. Everything's falling on the floor. It's okay. All right, I think let's do some quick sorts real quick because these have either come out of the bags because I was looking for them or they're what I just brought home. I can't really remember because some of these are looking like maybe, oh, this one's definitely a Wyoming yarn. So I think I just brought these home, and rather than mail them, I just brought them with me. So I've got Wyoming. I don't know what some of these other ones were. I think this one was from Colorado. So that's from recent. And then this one, oh, these are from New York. These are from like Rhinebeck. So I don't know why these are open. Probably because I was looking for something else. We went to Rhinebeck in October and we will be back again this year. Okay, so that was quick because these are all open. I also have this here. I'll get everything consolidated. Well, that's not true. I'll get everything sorted out by state in a minute, but these are also state blanket yarns, I think. Is it Destination Yarn? This is Ohio. We're gonna go back to Ohio eventually, not yet. And then this one is all the way back from December. This is from Pretty Twisted Yarns. This was a sock project that I started, again, best of intentions, but there's only so much time in the day. If you saw my project planning video last week, getting all my projects ready to go back on the road, I am just getting a lot more practical with what I have time to work on. And I made a bunch of Ziploc baggy and labeled kind of packets for my mom to send me when I am finished with a project. So like if I finish and I need another project to do, which is like not something that's very likely to happen since we're going to yarn stores a lot, I can have her send me my next project. Okay, I'm curious if we're gonna get into something older. This one is from February. Let's see what's in here. I don't think I started mailing myself anything until at least October. We hit the road August like 10th or something. So it took me a little while to figure out like, hey, I could mail myself stuff home and that makes life so much easier. Okay, this is a conglomerate of different things. Definitely maybe some blanket yarn and some other stuff. And this must have been just after we went to Yarny Gras. Oh, look at this bag. I love this bag. I knew I wasn't going to use it right away, but it's going to be the perfect bag to use in future Mardi Gras seasons. This is from Rick of Whimsy Stitches, and it's so much fun. I love it so much. Just really cool for New Orleans. We are maybe going to New Orleans actually at the end of this year, so I'm going to put that in my project bag pile. I'll sort it out. Maybe I can take it with me to New Orleans, even though it won't be Mardi Gras time. It'll still be appropriately themed. Wow, there's a lot of stuff in this one. Interesting. Okay, so what is that? Bag number 6. I got a new pair of glasses, so I sent my glasses home. That's actually good to know because my glasses right now are a little bit tight on my head, so I figure I might wear those for a little bit. A doodle cowl. I completed this. And it's the Rhinebeck Doodle Cowl. Hold on, let me flip it the right way. The Rhinebeck Doodle Cowl by Jamie Lomax. In January, our membership did a doodle make-along. I do want to bring this to Rhinebeck this year, but there's no reason to bring it along with me on this trip at the moment because we'll be back here before then. So I just need to put that somewhere where I will remember. Oh, look how cute this bag is from when I visited Arkansas Yarn Company. The wonderful ladies who make these bags. Oh, does it say their company? Because I'm not remembering off the top of my head. I think it might be right here. They gifted me this bag. It's really lovely. Ah, Barley Pearls. That's right. Barley Pearls is their name. Really nice project bags. Sorry, I need 2 hands to focus. Really nice. And then also, I'm hoping this made it here safely because somebody gifted me a fragile, is it an ornament? I think it was an ornament. Yay, it made it. Look how cute this is. It's so cute. So I'm gonna keep this wrapped up for now. I'll have to put this eventually with our Christmas things, but that is in our storage unit and there's no plans to get that out this year because we don't have a space to decorate for Christmas. So that leaves us with this Ziploc bag. Let me see what's going on here. I have a really fun pink skein of Spin Cycle. This is one of the newer Spin Cycle colorways. It is from Black Mountain in North Carolina, and it's called First Light. You know, I don't know what that means, but I just finished reading the Crescent City series, and there's First Light in there. Does that have anything to do with it? Anyway, they gifted me a skein while I was there, and I had to keep it secret for a while before I could share it. And then I just haven't thought of a project to work with it yet. But because I love pink so much, I want to hang on to that one. Oh, my doodle deck that I used when I was making my doodle. So I don't need those right now. And then, yes, all of these are going to be for my future blanket. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 left. That's actually not, nope, 9. And also some random baggies that I keep seeing everywhere. Like this is all, what is this? Tennessee and Florida and Georgia. Let's throw that over there. This one is, what is this? Oh, this doesn't belong in here. Oh no, wait, was I gonna put that in there? You know what? Sometimes when I didn't have the chance to get my yarn wound for my blanket, I would take the full skein and I would just wind off 20 grams and then I would re-skein it. So this has actually been used, but it just doesn't look like it's been used. So these, I believe, are all from Utah and maybe California. And then I think this is the last thing that's just a baggie here. What is this? Oh, what? I'm confused. Why are these two things together? I don't remember what I did with these two things. I sort of remember getting this yarn Yarn Matter, Austin, Texas. I believe this was at DFW Fiber Fest. Really pretty pink color. And then I have it together with an unlabeled yarn, which I am almost positive is the Little Wolf Knits Barbie color from last summer. And then I had them together, but why? Do you ever do that where you just like put stuff together and then you're like, what was the purpose of that? We'll just throw those over and I've reclaimed a plastic bag. Okay, 9 left to go. Is this entertaining? I hope so. Okay, this one is from, oh, this one I sent to myself from New Jersey, which means it was probably in October of last year because after Rhinebeck, we went and stayed with our friends Amy and Ian for quite a bit. And yes, I'm already seeing some Kansas yarn, some Missouri yarn in here. So all blanket stuff, and Texas. I think I just saw a Texas one. All right, moving right along. This one came from California in February of this year. Usually when we would stop and stay with somebody is when I would like have the energy to send stuff because it just took a bit to sort through things. I'm just hoping to be so much better about it this go round. Okay, this, oh, wow. I forgot about this. So this is an entire project ready to go that I was really enthusiastic about making in January. Actually, I should have made it in December because I was very excited about it. This is the Suburban Stitcher Pink Advent from this last year, along with some Suburban Stitcher Surrey yarn that I purchased to go with it. And what was I gonna make? It's a cardigan, Cardi, I think is what it's called. And so when we stopped by my parents' house in January for a few days, I packed this up because I'm like, I'm gonna start this. And I just never did. It was never the right time. Once we get traveling, the brain space is just not there. So today, actually, I am planning to start a long sleeve sweatshirt and doing all of the swatching and the measuring and the figuring things out and the circling the pattern, doing the cast on before we're hitting the road is such a good thing for me because then I don't have as many barriers to working on a project once we get on the road. So this will happen someday. It's getting farther and farther to find a spot to throw it to. Okay, if I put these in here, we're down to one more basket here. And this is just the easy part. This is just getting everything opened. Then I have to do something with all of it because I can't just pretend yarn is a mattress and sleep on it tonight. I have to move it all. All right, this one is from, April of this year. So more recent. I think some of these are gonna be pretty easy because I really started getting in a habit of sending home my blanket yarns as soon as I was done. And I can tell these are all from Portland and California. So after the yarn crawl and I got all caught up on my blanket, this one I think was sent around the same time. Actually, it doesn't have the same date, but it's probably the same thing. Oh, I love these yarns in here. Look how fun this one is. It's so bright. Isn't it so great? So yeah, I got to figure out a way to keep everything together and organized like this. And this one, if I can find some stickers or something, I can throw a label on it because this is very easy. I can just go California and it's done and it's easy. And that's going to help me in the future when I'm making my final project. All right, another one from New Jersey. This one is like stuffed tight, isn't it? So let's see. What is it's double bagged. That means I probably thought it was gonna bust open. My goodness. Either that or I labeled it wrong. I guess I thought it was gonna bust open. Or I couldn't get it closed. It looks okay, actually. Ooh, yes. Okay, I remember this now. I think some of this is gonna be from New Mexico. Maybe. I remember, yes, this is from New Mexico. I remember buying this project bag. I need to stop buying project bags because there's no space for them. And then I don't get to use them for a long time. But I love this project bag. I cannot wait to use it for Christmas. Clearly, wait, when did I say this package was from? October. So I could have opened it. If I had opened it, I could have used it for this past Christmas, but I didn't realize that. But now I know exactly where all of my Christmas items are, so I can go put that right with it. I do have a Halloween one inside, which means I may have actually used the, no, I guess I put this in here. I totally sent it to myself and thought, I'll open it before December and then I'll use that bag. No, I didn't. I didn't. Sorry to disappoint you, past Natalie. I did not do that. But I have all these beautiful New Mexico yarns. So throw that into the blanket pile. Just 4 more to go from April. Wait, from April. I don't know why I thought that was going to be the year before. We're still living in New York then. Okay, this one has some clothes. Those actually I have replaced in my wardrobe, so I'm going to send those to Goodwill. A project bag filled with goodness knows what. Let's see. Looks like I have a Musselburgh hat, which I replaced my Musselburgh hat, so that makes sense because I made a new one that matches. I have some yarn. Is this one from? Delicious. That means it's a blanket yarn because it is from Arizona. I also have, oh yes, this one is a recent one. Instead of using a plastic bag, I put it in my project bag. These two are from Mississippi. Super pretty. And then more project bags. So many project bags. I just have extras and I just can't take them all. And then what's left in here? Oh, more clothes that will go to Goodwill because I have replaced them. Okay, guys, we're almost there. Look, this one looks like a rat got into it. I think it's because I got into it trying to find something. This one is from, no idea because it doesn't have a date on it, but it definitely has a conglomeration of things. Ooh. That didn't sound good. All right. This must have been from early on. I am seeing a chick that knits and some suburban stitcher, which means I probably got this yarn in Oklahoma and then Texas because I was going to DFW Fiber Fest. So none of this is blanket yarn, I don't believe. I have oh, this is so fun. It's actually good for summer. A really fun sock set from Homespun House. Look how cute that is. They're out of Germany. I have some lovely Ruby and Roses yarn. Love Ruby and Roses. What did I just touch something that said soft skin effect? I don't know what that is. That's so pretty. This was the show colorway for Suburban Stitcher for DFW Fiber Fest. This is a brushed cashmere. And someday I've got to do something with this because it's so nice. And then I love these two from Ruby and Roses, these two colors. They're so fun. This one's Sail Away and this one's Material Girl. Anyway, these are all yarns that I just really like and I want to use for something at some point. So they're just going to go into stash over there. I just found a lonely skein of yarn on the floor. Luckily, this one's recent. It's from Utah. It's Candy Shop Yarns. It doesn't have a label because it came in a box. And I am just going to have to put that in a bag called Utah so I don't forget. 2 more left. Okay, this one is also from quite a bit ago, but it doesn't say when. How cute is this? This is another Black Pearl Magic bag. I don't think you can really see what it says, but it says ZK 2023 because I had planned to go to the retreat. It just happened this year, but I planned to go last year, but it was like days before we moved from New York back to here and I just couldn't do it. So I ended up not going, but that's okay. They still sent me that, which was very, very nice. This is probably my very first package I sent home because these are yarns from our first 2 states, which is Tennessee and Kentucky. We started out in Tennessee and then these, I believe all 3 are from, Kentucky and then Indiana. Wow, that feels like a lifetime ago. Last one. One more. This one's also from California in February of this year. Let's see what we got. I am seeing Ruby and Roses yarn. I believe this might have been from one of her collections that I was sampling and sharing. So I've got these 2 beautiful purples wound up. It might have been from the ones I just showed a minute ago. Oh, also some pretty twisted yarns from her Die Hard Club. This one was from February. Life is like a box of chocolates. Ah, yes. This is from the Taylor Swift collection. That's right. This is Lover Addie's version. And this one is so stinking pretty, is Love Story. And I have a whole bunch of Ruby and Roses yarn that I'm so thrilled to have that I will one day start making things with, like maybe a tank top, because I can pretty much do a tank top out of one skein of yarn as long as it's pretty thin and pretty short. Actually just finished something out of Ruby and Roses, so can't say that I haven't worked with it, but these are all so pretty. Okay, that's it. We made it through all of these bags. I gotta show you what the bed looks like. Look at all of this. Kent's come in to judge. What'd you say about that yarn?
You're never gonna use this.
Why?
You don't knit with bulky.
I don't knit with bulky, says who? I'm gonna go throw this away so that my mom has 2 new empty baskets for me to fill up all the things that I'm gonna get in the next few months. To be honest, I'm not mentally ready to like really organize all of the stuff that is projects like into, I don't know, weights or stuff like I normally would when I do all of my stash organization, which by the way, I have years and years of stash organization videos on this channel if that's something that's interesting to you. So I think for right now, I'm basically just gonna take anything that is a current project, a yarn item, or a project bag, like basically everything that's not an FO, put it in this basket behind me. I'm gonna take it upstairs. I have a big tub that I packed up when we were moving from New York, and I'm just gonna put everything in there and worry about getting it all done properly later on. Had a little lunch break, a little coffee, and now I'm ready to sort through all of this. So I was originally thinking that I would put each state in its own Ziploc bag, but that seems really wasteful and there's no real reason to do that yet. What I really want to do here is get this sorted out by region and by state so that it will be easier for me in the future when I am making this blanket. So what I'm planning to do right now is just to kind of sort things out by region, and then I'll just put as many can fit into one bag as possible, which is 6 skeins. And I'll just label it with the states that's in it. So if it's one state like California, we'll have multiple bags, or maybe one bag has multiple states in it, and that's totally fine. So I'm gonna kind of think of this bed as my map. I think I'll have this basket be the Pacific Northwest. Maybe this can be like California because I'm going to have a lot of it. We have been to quite a lot of states in the middle of the US. I can do the South and the Southeast because we've pretty much completed that. Aside from South Carolina, we still need to go back there. And we really haven't been to the Northeast much at all. That's going to be our like finishing state. So I'll probably just kind of put that right here. I think I can do most of this from memory. I'm really curious to see how many skeins I have to choose from for my final blanket. So let me get to sorting and then we'll have some numbers to go by. We are sorted. Okay, here is what we got. I guess we can start down here. We have Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi. This is not a perfect map of the US by any means. Louisiana, Arkansas. This is Texas, and I think we've got like Kansas in here, Missouri is in here, Oklahoma. We have Tennessee, again, not an accurate map here, Ohio, New York. This is like Utah and Idaho and Colorado, I think. And this is the Pacific Northwest, so like Washington, Oregon, California, bunch of yarn from California, New Mexico, and then Arizona. And I think that's all I have for now. I think I'm definitely missing some because I know for sure I have another Arkansas colorway, the Nitty Natty colorway, but it could be in a project bag somewhere. I hope I didn't use it all up. But I also discovered another category while I was sorting and I put it into this basket. I'm gonna have to take it out of here because this is Kent's clothes basket for the van. But I have yarns that I purchased in a state like I purchased it in Tennessee, for example, but it's not actually hand dyed in Tennessee. And the blanket that I want to make, I want it all to be knitting that state outline out of a yarn dyed in that state. So these don't fit the category. Like some of them I can tweak a little bit. I have a yarn, actually, let me grab it. This is the best one for this example because Coast to Coast yarn is dyed in Kansas. I got this in Kansas City in Missouri, literally like a few hundred feet away from the state line to go into Kansas. So it's like, could I use this for Kansas? Yes. Did I buy it in Missouri? Yes. So I don't know. I'm kind of a purist when it comes to things like that. We'll see in the end. I need to see everything, what the states are going to look like lined up next to each other, color choices. Like for Alabama, I only have one yarn. I know it's going to be this pink color from Paper Crane, and I'm so excited for it, but that means that the other ones around it need to kind of stand out from that. Okay, back to this basket. So for example, this yarn from Knitted Wit dyes yarn in Oregon. This is a yarn that I got in New Mexico, and it's called Petroglyph National Monument, which is in New Mexico. So for me, this doesn't make any sense to use for Oregon or New Mexico because it doesn't fit the bill, right? Or this yarn. This one I got in, I think I got this one in Oregon. It is actually a custom colorway for Cozy in Eugene, Oregon called Tracktown, which is why I got it because the university there is known for track, but it's dyed by Madeline Tosh and they are in Texas. So that doesn't make any sense for me to use for Oregon. It doesn't make any sense to use for Texas. So things like that are in here. A lot of Rhinebeck colors, you know, people that don't live in New York, I put into there. So that's not a ton of them. So what comes next? I am going to be holding on to this yarn for a while because we're not done traveling for at least through the end of this year. And then it's going to take me a while to get my stuff together to make this epic blanket. And I don't really want to let go of any of this yarn until then. But I'm starting to think already, you know, what will I do with all this yarn when I'm done? I couldn't possibly keep all of it. And I have some fun ideas floating around. I think there are colorways that I would use for other projects, but I don't know about you. Like once I use something twice, I'm usually like, I'm good. I feel like I got so much value from it. I got so many hours of entertainment from it. I had so much fun and I don't really want to use it anymore. Like I'm kind of done with the color, but then I can pass it on to somebody else. So that's what a lot of this yarn is going to end up, where it's going to end up. It's going to be passed on to other people, whether I don't know. I've thought about making little kits, but I know that's going to be very labor intensive. So I'm not sure that that's going to be realistic. I've thought about maybe at one point, again, this is like years from now, I can bring it all to a yarn store and we can have like a little party. We can all bring our winders and our scales and we can wind off like, 20-gram bits so that other people have the opportunity to sample all of these yarns, put them into scrappy items. That's kind of what I'm leaning towards right now, just because I think that would be so much fun. And then I could make a kit alongside everybody else and then give that away so that people who aren't local will have the opportunity to use some of this yarn. I feel like it's been a journey. Like part of the journey has just been buying the yarn and supporting the local yarn stores, trying out different dyers. And that has been so much fun. It's almost like research work, and as much as it is just a fun thing for me. And I feel very lucky. I don't for a moment take for granted that one, I'm able to get out to all of these different yarn stores, but then also having this be my business, I'm able to purchase all of this yarn. Like this is a lot of yarn. I think that all the time. This is a lot of yarn. This is an insanely expensive blanket, but it's a once in a lifetime opportunity that I never thought I would have, that I'm so grateful for. So if I get to share a lot of this yarn with other people, it will just be even more special. So I'm gonna go get these all bagged up and labeled. I don't think that part's gonna be interesting, so I don't know if we need to include it in this video. Plus Kent wants to come in here and use the bed to take a nap because we were up late in the night editing a video last night. So I don't know if this was the most entertaining video that I've ever made, but it sure feels good to be organized and have this at least started. Remember, we still have 20 more states to go, 24 more states to go. So I'm going to be adding to it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. You're just leaving me like this? Help. Oh God. Why is yarn so heavy?